What if I told you that most of the decisions you've made in life were never truly yours? Not your thoughts, not your desires, not even your fears. There is a silent force operating beneath your awareness, a phantom conductor orchestrating your behaviors, habits, reactions, and even your dreams. You call it you, but it isn't. This is your subconscious mind. Long before you spoke your first word, it began recording. Every sight, sound, voice, and trauma absorbed. It became the hidden scriptwriter of your identity, silently programming responses and beliefs. Psychologists estimate that 95% of your behavior is subconscious. That means you're living most of your life on autopilot, thinking you're in control, while an invisible operating system dictates your every move. But here's the terrifying truth. Most of these subconscious imprints aren't even yours. They're inherited from your ancestors, shaped by cultural conditioning, etched by childhood wounds. You are haunted by memories you don't remember, ruled by patterns you didn't choose, and driven by stories that were never yours to begin. With who are you beneath the programming? That's the journey we're about to take. Close your eyes and imagine a vast underground cave, silent, dark, untouched for centuries. Now realize, that cave is inside of you. The subconscious is not a filing cabinet of memories. It's a living, breathing landscape, a realm of unhealed pain, forgotten memories, ancestral echoes, and cultural impressions. And it's influencing every moment of your conscious life. Every time you react with fear, self-doubt, or irrational anger, it's not the you think you are. It's a ghost from the past speaking through you. These ghosts are known in Eastern philosophy as samskaras, subtle imprints left by emotional experiences, and in the Western world, Carl Jung called them the shadow. Aspects of ourselves we've rejected, feared, or forgotten. Science too confirms this. Our brains are wired through repetition. Traumas form neural circuits. Childhood conditioning creates templates for adult behavior. What you experience at age 5 still defines how you love, fear, and fight today. And if that's not enough, recent studies in epigenetics suggest that trauma is inheritable. That means the pain your grandmother never spoke of may be living silently inside of you. But here's the real tragedy. We spend our lives trying to fix the symptoms, addictions, bad habits, anxiety, without ever facing the root, the subconscious. You cannot change what you cannot see, and you cannot free yourself from a prison you don't know you're in. So the real question becomes, how do we awaken to what lies hidden? Do you believe in free will? Pause for a moment, reflect. Are your choices truly yours? Science would argue, maybe not. Philosopher Baruch Spinoza once said, "Men think themselves free because they are conscious of their actions, but ignorant of the causes by which they are determined." In the 1980s, neuroscientist Benjamin Libet ran a startling experiment. He found that the brain makes decisions before we consciously become aware of them. A full half-second before we choose, the subconscious has already acted. Think about that. Your subconscious decides, and then lets your conscious mind believe it was in charge. The ego is a master illusionist. It convinces you that you're the driver of your life when really, you're sitting in the back seat, watching the subconscious steer the wheel. This isn't just science. The sages knew this long ago. In Advaita Vedanta, the concept of Maya, illusion, tells us that the self we identify with is a mask, a temporary avatar driven by karma, memory, and unconscious desires. In Buddhism, the concept of anatta, or no self, points to the same truth. The self is a fluid process, not a fixed entity. So, if your will is shaped by invisible forces, what does that make your identity? What if freedom isn't about choosing, but about becoming aware of what's choosing through you? Here's the revelation. The subconscious is not a curse. It is a forgotten temple, and there are keys, ancient keys, that can unlock its gates. Long before psychology was born, the mystics knew how to reprogram the inner world. In India, the practice of yoga nidra, the yogic sleep, was used to access the subconscious directly. Lying in stillness between wakefulness and sleep, one could plant powerful intentions or sankalpas into the fertile soil of the subconscious. Then there is pranayama, breath control. Not just a health practice, but a spiritual technology. By manipulating the breath, one alters the nervous system, shifting from survival mode into deeper awareness, allowing suppressed memories to rise and dissolve. Mantras, vibrational codes repeated in silence, act as tools to overwrite the old patterns with new ones. Chanting Om Namah Shivaya, for instance, isn't a ritual, it's a realignment. In indigenous traditions, shamanic rituals and plant medicines were used to unearth subconscious blockages. These weren't recreational, they were initiatory, sacred, transformative. In modern times, journaling and shadow work serve a similar role. Writing down recurring dreams, irrational fears, and emotional triggers pulls them from the shadows into the light of conscious reflection. And when these practices are done, not as techniques, but as acts of devotion, of remembering who you truly are, they become powerful rituals of rebirth. Clearing the subconscious isn't about deletion, it's about transmutation. It's not about forgetting the past. It's about reclaiming it. It's about taking back the pen and rewriting the script from within. But as you peel away each layer, each trauma, belief, identity, something strange begins to happen. A silence grows, and then the final paradox dawns on you. The mind you sought to fix that was never really you. Who is it that watches the thoughts, who hears the voice within, yet remains silent? The sages say, you are not the mind, but the witness behind it. In Zen Buddhism, they speak of Ma's emptiness beyond form. Ramana Maharshi pointed seekers not to answers, but to a single question. Who am I? You begin this journey seeking to change the subconscious, but you end it realizing freedom doesn't come from control, it comes from disidentification. You are not your stories, not your name, not your wounds. You are the awareness in which all of these arise, and in that realization, the mind loosens its grip. The subconscious becomes quiet, not erased, but no longer ruling, not dominant, but integrated, peaceful, still. As within, so without. The outer world, your relationships, finances, conflicts is not separate from you. It is a projection, a mirror reflecting the patterns of your subconscious mind. A man who feels unworthy inside will attract relationships that validate his unworthiness. A woman who fears abandonment will unconsciously push people away, recreating the very abandonment she dreads. Change your inner world, and the outer world shifts like a dream reacting to the dreamer. And here's the wonder. Once the subconscious is no longer filled with noise, fear, and conditioning, it becomes a channel for something greater. Intuition, creativity, vision. You don't become superhuman. You become fully human for the first time, and reality begins to reflect not your wounds, but your awakened self. So now I ask you, who are you without the programming? Not the roles you play, not the memories you carry, not the voices from your past. Strip it all away. What remains? Silence, stillness, freedom? This is not a question to be answered. It's a question to live, because clearing the subconscious is not the end, it's the doorway to a life not ruled by ghosts, but guided by truth, to a self not built on stories, but rooted in presence. So close your eyes, listen, and remember, you are not what you think. You are the one who sees the thought, and in that awareness, you are free. What if you are not who you think you are? What if everything you believe about yourself is just a memory echoing from the past? Not your past, your subconscious. We like to think we're in control, that our choices are our own, that we think clearly, speak freely, and live consciously. But what if you've been living inside a program, written by moments you can't even remember? A single glance from a parent, a forgotten word from a teacher, a fear you didn't know you absorbed. What if that's what's been making your decisions for you all along? They say the subconscious mind is a silent master. It never sleeps, it remembers everything. And it speaks, not in words, but in symbols, reactions, and patterns. It's the hidden architect of your life. It creates the lens through which you see the world and yourself. So if you want to change your life, you don't start with your thoughts, you start with what's beneath them. And if you're willing to go there, into that dark, quiet place below the surface, you might just find something deeper than memory. You might find yourself. Your subconscious is not just a part of you, it is you, or at least the you that's been running the show. Psychologists say over 90% of our daily behavior is subconscious. That means most of what you do isn't a choice, it's a pattern, a loop, a program installed long ago. The subconscious stores everything your conscious mind can't handle. Every overwhelming emotion, every painful truth, every unprocessed experience. It gets locked away, not erased,